Good morning, it's good to see you. The biggest dangers to travellers in Bali. Can I preface this by saying this is just my opinion, and sometimes opinions stem from or come from one's own personal experience, so other people might have a different opinion. And I don't want to sound alarmist. The vast morning. The vast overwhelming majority of people that come to Bali don't experience any of these things, but they're what I would say would be, you know, potentially the most dangerous things that can happen here. First, volcanic activity and earthquakes. In 2015, I arrived into Kathmandu, and shortly after, Nepal was hit by an earthquake that measured around 8.1 on the Richter scale. It was devastating. Nearly 10,000 people lost their lives, hundreds of thousands displaced from their homes. I had never experienced anything like that before, and it was really a pretty traumatic event. Myself and 140 other Australians spent a few weeks living at the Australian Embassy. We couldn't get out on the planes. The Australian government eventually sent in a C-130 to fly out those that wanted to go to Bangkok. Indonesia sits on a tectonic plate called the Sunda Plate, which has a boundary with the Indo-Indonesia-Australia plate. This sits on a thing that some people call the Pacific Rim of Fire, and this region that boundaries the Pacific Ocean and sort of west coast of the Americas, and as well as the sort of southeastern parts of Asia. This region accounts for 90%, I think it's 90% of the world's volcanic activity. So Indonesia and Bali are susceptible to volcanic activity and earthquakes, which I'm sure many of you know. It potentially creates some big problems. People, you know, have plane delays and inconveniences like that. And it wasn't that long ago that Lombok and Bali experienced some earthquakes where lives were lost, and even more recently out a little bit further east there were some lives lost. The chances that a traveller in Bali is going to experience that, very, very, very small, but you know, it's possible. It's possible. Unlikely, but possible. Occasionally you'll feel a tremor or something, but beyond that, you'd be very, very unlucky to be caught. I believe Indonesia has the record for the loudest recorded noise in history, and that was the explosion off Java of Krakatau, which reverberated around the world. The second biggest danger I think travellers could face is dengue. Bali doesn't have malaria per se, but it does get dengue, and having had dengue myself, it's an awful thing to experience. I would put it down as the worst experience bar none that I've had at any time, and I've broken numerous bones, I've had concussions. Nothing debilitated me more and made me more uncomfortable than suffering through a period of dengue. So I know when you're on holidays you can become a little bit blasé about these things, but honestly in the mornings and in the evenings, and, you know, just after sunrise and before sunset, wearing long sleeves shirts and long pants, having some kind of repellent, using Mozzie coils, you can get some pretty heavy DEET products. I know that's not terribly environmentally friendly perhaps, but you have a really big problem if you get dengue again. I know one of the subscribers to the channel was relaying his difficulties with a second bout of dengue, and now he has blood platelet problems, he has issues with his liver, he also has ongoing migraines and headaches, and it's sort of, you know, impacted his life incredibly. So I personally would put dengue up there in some of the most dangerous things for travellers in Bali. The third thing I'd consider a danger to travellers is petty crime. Again, the vast overwhelming majority of people won't experience any petty crime, and there's nothing you have to concern yourself about really. But it does happen, unfortunately, in Bali. And I only recently just watched a video 2 nights ago of a couple of young girls who left their money and purses in their hotel room, and they had a significant amount of money taken from them. I would also include money changers in this category as well. They are unscrupulous, unfortunately, many of them, and I think it's important to identify, if you're going to use a money changer, do a little bit of research. Don't just walk into the first one you see. You know, ask some people. Locals will tell you. Go into a business that looks quite reputable, and ask them which is the best money changer, or talk to another traveller or tourist on the street and ask them who they used. But yeah, petty crime is the thing. It's probably not going to affect your holiday tremendously, because most people will have some kind of backup for financial, or you know, have some sort of backup for funds and what have you. But it does happen, and it's something you should be aware of and take precautions about. I think as far as petty crime goes, it's about being aware, you know, constantly being aware of what you're doing with your valuables, and just not being lazy, getting sort of, you know, getting into that point where you're just a bit lackadaisical about everything you're doing while you're travelling. You just stay on your guard a bit. Me personally, I think I've mentioned it before, I carry everything on me, on my skin. I don't let anything out of my sight, and that stems from my own personal experience way back when I was first out travelling, where I encountered some theft from hotel rooms and guest houses and that in Indonesia, and now I just don't leave anything anywhere of any value. It's on me all the time. So yeah, nothing, once again, I don't want to sound alarmist, it's nothing to be overly concerned about, but just staying a little bit aware and being a little bit cautious and mindful of where your valuables are and what you're doing with them. You know, depending on the hotel you're staying in, they can be quite good vestibules or areas to leave your important documents and your money. But unfortunately, sometimes they're not either, you know, so it's a tricky one. Personally, I keep it all on myself.
Halo, kembali.
Yeah.
Every day I clean the car. Yeah.
How many cars they have? Berapa mobil?
5.
Oi.
5.
Oh, kan kini besar ya?
Yeah. But this is local bank.
Oh, it's
Local bank.
Ubud Bali Bank.
Bali.
Bali Bank.
Okay, Bali bank.
Nama apa?
BPD Bali. BPD Bali.
Oh, okay. And siapa nama anda?
My name is Ketut.
Ketut.
Yeah.
Nama saya Wayan. Makasih Ketut. And tinggal di sini di Ubud? Oh,
Yeah.
Gianyar.
I live in Gianyar.
Gianyar.
Yeah.
So it's mungkin 30 minit di sini.
Maybe 25 minutes.
25 minutes.
I walk from 7 o'clock until 5 o'clock.
7 to 5. Yeah. 7 days a week, every week. Yeah.
No. 5 a week.
Oh, it's
In a week or 5 days.
only 5.
Only 5. Yeah.
Bagus. That's nice, huh?
Yeah.
So you can spend time with your family, and yeah, it's always very nice. Ada istri?
We have.
Yeah.
Five.
1, 2.
One only.
Yeah.
One only.
Anak-anak?
Children?
No, not
No.
yet, not yet. Yeah.
On process.
In process.
Yeah.
Trying, coba. Yeah. Good luck. Ketut, thank you so much to talking with me. Yeah. I really
Welcome.
appreciate it. Have a
Welcome,
good day.
sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Mister.
You too. Mau kemana?
Mau ke sana pasar lagi.
Pasar.
Ya. Jalan.
Apa?
Nasi ayam.
Nasi ayam. Oh,
Iya.
banyak.
Banyak.
Untuk siapa? Oh.
Jualan keliling.
Okay.
Untuk keliling.
Ya, di mana?
Keliling. Jalan-jalan sambil.
Oh, okay, ya.
Siapa tahu ada yang beli.
Siapa nama anda?
Putu.
Putu, nama saya Wayne Putu.
Yes.
Terima kasih banyak ya. Bye. I see you every morning, sir. Every morning I'm walking and I see you here. Are you waiting for something or you live close by?
Ya, where
Yeah.
you going there?
Di mana tinggal?
Di anu, Padang Tegal Kelot.
Oh ya? Tidak
Near-
jauh ya?
Near Monkey Forest.
Oh.
But I am a long time stay metropolis Jakarta.
I see, yeah.
I am work ministry domestic.
Oh yeah?
But now I am pension.
Now you're staying here?
Pension come back Ubud. I am back Ubud.
You are back to Ubud, yeah?
Where you come from?
Australia?
Australia, okay. Near
Yeah,
from here.
yeah. Siapa nama anda?
Ketut.
Ketut.
Yeah.
Nama saya Wayne Ketut. Terima kasih banyak.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Okay, thank
Bye-bye.
you. Have a nice day.
I see him every morning sitting there. He always waves and says hello. Something that's becoming apparent to me is my limited Indonesian is starting to become quite restrictive. I'm asking the same questions and they're not that deep. They're very simplistic and I'm sure they're become really repetitive for anyone that's watching it. So it suggests to me that there has to be another period of learning now to improve it as I travel around. You won't have as many people who can speak English. So for the value of the fun of talking to people and also contributing to aspects of the videos that I do, there's going to have to be some further learning in Indonesian, I think. And so it's time to leave Ubud. It's been a great 3 months or so, getting to know the locals, understanding a little bit more about the culture here, and it's also been really nice meeting a lot of subscribers. You've only seen a couple on the videos, as most people want to sort of remain anonymous, and that's understandable. But thanks very much to everyone that's come up and introduced themselves and given some of their time to me so we can have a chat and get to know each other a little bit better. I really appreciate it. Thanks to everyone for viewing as well. I'll be back, I guess, in 3 or 4 weeks, and look forward to taking a bit of a deeper dive into what's happening around here.
Pagi teman.
Pagi teman, apa kabar?
Bagus, hari ini bagus.
Saya pergi besok jalan-jalan.
Iya, bagus, ya.
So mungkin
Mudah-mudahan
kembali
tidak
satu.
hujan. Halo, swastiastu.
Okay, bye.
Izin nih.
And that's the last one from Ubud for a while. Thanks very much for coming along. Oh, a couple of you wanted to see the koi. There's 2 koi. They're quite chunky little fellows. There's also a bottom feeder that eats the algae down the bottom. I don't know whether you can see him up the top there. But it'd be nice if they had a little bit of greenery to swim around in. I've sort of taken ownership of them a little bit, and I feed them probably more than I should. But yeah, I can't help myself when it comes to animals. As always, I hope you're well and happy in life and doing the things you want to do. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you next from Padang Bai. See ya.